Okay, so for those are new with us, okay, we already in the market for 15 years, okay, and then now we have a variety of the product. We have something like Minitab Connect. For those are interested with something like dashboard, you want to integrate with your database and so on. So Minitab Connect will help you on that. And then we have for today Minitab Statistical software. Okay, our flagship product, and then we have the Suffolk Predictive Modeler or SPM, a sum of algorithm inside the SPM now available in predictive analytic module, which is have a cost on that. And then we have the Minitab Model Ops. Okay, so Minitab Model Ops is something like after you get the best modeler or something like uh, best model from the predictive analytic or machine learning algorithm. So you want to deploy them, you want to see on the dashboard or something like one. So Minitab Model Ops is come to help. And then we have others, something like those are template for the improvement project, something like you want to have a PDCA, something you want to do the initiate or innovative project. So we have the workspace, and then we have something like workspace, but we have something dashboard to verify to show your activity on or your status of your project file, and then so on. So we have the Meet and Engage, and then we have the Education Hub is something like for the web online, okay, learning for the education hub. Inside the education hub is actually you can have something module, let's say statistical quality control. We have the something DOE, design of experiment and so on, and then we have the real-time SPC. Real-time SPC is something like you create your control chart inside there, and then after that you want to notify the PIC if let's say have something like OCC out of control, something that one. So real time SPC will do on that thing. Okay. So this one is the those all features are available in Minitab statistical software. So we have a quality side. Okay, for those are coming from the R&D or something like warranty, something like one. So we also have the reliability engineering. Okay, and then we have something like product development. Okay, DOE, so design of experiment itself. And then we have the business analytic. I think last 2 months I cover on that predictive analytic. We have a regression. Okay, we also have the time series last month on the time series. So for those are interested with this business analytic, you want to do analytic project, so we have that kind of the modules or models, something like regression itself. We have the time series. Maybe you want to group them into uh something like you doesn't have any response, okay, but you have the factor, so you can go for the multivariate method. Okay, so your aim want to group them into the group. So we have the PCA, principal component analysis, on site there. And then we also have something like process validation. But I think if let's say we go for the non-manufacturing, maybe it's not include on this process validation. Okay, so we have a variety of the customer coming. Most of our customer major from the manufacturing itself, but no worries, we also have some customer from the non-manufacturing. Okay, we have from the services, academician, and so on. Okay, and then of course, sorry. Okay, so of course in 1 hour, we hope we can achieve this agenda today. So we want to see what Minitab can help you in term to the data analysis, or more focus on the quality improvement, something that one. So we try with some simple graphical, and then after that we try trip down with the statistical analysis available in Minitab statistical software. These tools can be in manufacturing can be in non-manufacturing also. Okay, maybe this webinar will give you some idea how to do improvement, how to do analysis and so on. Okay. So I think quality initiative maybe it start from the manufacturing, but nowadays where what our business, whether it's manufacturing or non-manufacturing, or you involve with something like services, you always talk learn or more on the you want to increase your income, you want to optimize your business or something that one. So this webinar we won't try to some look the others issue for the quality initiative from the others industry. Okay, but I think in manufacturing is non-manufacturing itself is maybe it's challenge because you not easy to do some measurement. Okay, you can get from your machine itself, so it will be difficult. Maybe you can transform that variables into the non-attribute data set or something that went from the numeric to the attribute. So we have a kind of the analysis to do that. Okay, to analysis and that one. So maybe here is something idea. If let's say you coming from the healthcare, okay, maybe you have an issue on the patient satisfaction. Maybe you have issue on the bed files. Also, how many beds you leave it, how many bed, how many customer coming to your hospital and so on. So you want to arrange your staffing and so on. Or maybe you are coming from the finance itself. Okay, you want to see on the processing claims. Okay, you want to see on the loan application. Is some only one day or something that one. Maybe after this you can market by that. Okay, if let's say you go for this package, so you just only wait for 1 hour to do to see the loan improvement, something that one. Or maybe from the government itself, okay, of services. So maybe you want to see on the response time or to the complaint, something that one. Sometimes can be numeric data set, can be attribute data set. Okay, or maybe you are coming from the telecommunication, so you want to see on the chance rates and so on. Okay, so here for today, we try with this simple start. I think most of us start analysis with some graphic analysis. So for this case, we try with the mobile services, want to provide, maybe they want to review their performance. Okay, so they're coming with the complaints or something that one from their customer, and then they collect that customer, okay, based on the frequency, and then their impact into the customer for the over 9 months, and then they want to look on the most significant potential for improvement. So maybe we can start with some simple. Let's say we go for the Pareto chart. I think I will open the Minitab. Okay, so for those who are new with us, if let's say after you open the Minitab, you can see the menu bar here. Okay, so you can see on the file, edit, data, card, we have the stat, and then we have the graph, we have the view, help, and then assistant. Maybe this one is additional part of this one, or maybe you have additional tools inside the others Minitab. We have a box space and so on. So we have the others. You can integrate into this Minitab statistical software, or you from this Minitab software, you can share with into the Minitab workspace or something that one. Okay, and then of course, I think a lot of us start with the data collection with the Excel. So for this time round, you can enter, okay, into this worksheet, or maybe you can import directly from the Excel file, or maybe you can import from your repository, let's say Google Sheet or something, OneDrive or Google Drive or something that one. So Minitab can able to do. Okay, so how to get it? You can go for the file. Okay, maybe you can open if let's say you save it, your file into the local disk. But if let's say you have your file, but you save into the something OneDrive or Google Drive, so you can open from the repository. For this case, I try with this open since I already save into the local disk. So I go for this data set and then I will open the data set. Okay, so directly you can see, okay, Minitab actually you can insert the whole data set, or maybe you can just interest with the sheet only. Okay, for this case, I want to all this one, or maybe I can preview first on this, or maybe do some data manipulation, maybe. Okay, so for this case, you want to insert which column. Okay, if let's say you don't want on this sheet, so you just unclick on this. Okay, if let's say you want, you just click. And then after you certify all these things, you just click OK. Now, Minitab will import into this worksheet. Okay, so you have here, we have three. Okay, so maybe you can go for this one. Okay, so this icon is a little bit small, but I think it help you more on this. So you can see that we have now we have a 5 worksheet. Okay, with the different shape. So after you click on this shape, so you can see on this one. Okay, we consider this active sheet. Okay, once you want to do the uh, some analysis, so you will able see this data set. So once you click on this sheet, so you can see on this one. And then for information, maybe you want to see on more on this. Okay, for this case, maybe it's not so easy. You just have a three columns. Okay, and then you have a 6 data set. But maybe you have a more data set, you want to verify it. So you just click and send to see the worksheet information. So you can see on here, we have the column and then we have a count how many, and then we have the name of the columns. Okay, for I think it's most important here we show in this case. Okay, if let's say it's T here, it means that this column is really the text data set. If not appear anything here, means that this column, it will be other numeric data set. So they will have more in this case. Okay, so you can go right click, you can see the worksheet information. Okay, so for this case, we try with this one since this telecommunication provider want to see on the improvement. Okay, so we start with the simple check. Okay, we can go for the simple check. Okay, so that one is something like bar chart. Okay, Pareto chart is something like bar chart, but it's a special one since they provide you two existing. So we have here is the frequency. Okay, we have here is cumulative frequency. So you can see on this boost one, or maybe after this, you can Google up something like 80-20 rules. Okay, so for this case, actually for the Pareto chart, we want another thing in the Pareto chart compared to bar chart is something like in Pareto chart, they will in order from the bigger to the smallest. Okay, they will automatically arrange for you. No need to go for the arrangement on this. Okay, they will arrange for you. So mostly we use the Pareto chart to identify the most frequent complaint. Okay, maybe you want to see on the common cause, okay, and so on. And then maybe we have focus improvement effort to areas which the largest scale can be automated. Okay, so for this case, we already have this data set. Okay, and then we list of the complaint here, and then we already collect this one into frequency. So maybe you have a row data set, so you will get the frequency. Okay, by the go for the stack, you will go for the tables. Okay, you can use the daily individuals variables. Maybe if let's say you have uh, a row of the data set. Okay, but this one is already simplified. So how to get the Pareto chart in this one? So you go for the start, go for the under quality tools. Okay, Pareto chart is not inside in the graphical. Okay, it's inside the quality tools. So you go for the start, go for the quality tools, go for the Pareto chart. Okay, so for this case, we want to, this one is our complaint. So the data in frequencies. Okay, and then maybe you want to, we have the variables or something like location, you want to compare it. So you can insert on this one. Then you click OK. Now, Minitab we provide you the Pareto chart. So we do go to start, to the quality tools. Okay, so we go for the Pareto chart. So why Minitab inside the Pareto chart inside the quality tools? Because quality tools, Pareto chart is one of the basic tools inside the quality tools. So that's why Minitab put on this Pareto chart instead you go for the graphical. Okay, so based on the Pareto chart, you can see 80-20 rows. So for this 80-20 rows means that connection, help desk, and then signal strength, the billing process, it will be most important complaint from the their customer. So maybe from this one is connection. So from this issue, you won't see that more on this connection. It will be more the highest thing. Okay. So you want to go for, maybe you can focus with the 4 criteria complaint. So from here, you will generate or you will discuss more of wishbone diagram and so on. What is the variables inside the connection? How you measure it, the connection. Okay. Maybe you can have something like brainstorm, okay, fishbowl diagram to drill down on this case. But we have another thing, maybe I'm not sure if that you are familiar with the cost of quality. You try measuring this one, okay, frequency with the weightage here. Okay, so that's why we provide another type of the Pareto chart, but we call it here is a weighted Pareto chart. Okay, something, maybe you just look on the frequency. Maybe you want to compare with the cost. Okay, if let's say you not tackle this complaint, so how many costs you need to have that to solve it, that problem, something that when you try compare with the others information it related with you. Okay, for this case we have the weighted Pareto chart. So that one is not only consider the frequency of occurrence, okay, but the important as well. Okay, something like additional information you provide inside there. And then you want to realize that you should not focus on the frequency but severity. So maybe for this case, for telecommunication cases, maybe you want to see how disruptive is to the customer. Okay, and also easy to of completion of the project and make it choice of your subject and the project. So maybe it will be the best choose a type of a complaint taker was frequent, severity, and easy to rectify. So we try with this one. Okay, so we have a something like weight here. This one is based on your evaluation. Okay, maybe based on evaluation. So on order this one, maybe you can transform to the COQ. Okay, cost of quality on that. Okay, COQ. So how to get it this one? You need to multiple frequency by the weighted. How to do this? Okay, per as actually Minitab, that one is a column based, not the cell based. You not never insert the formula inside there. But no worries, we have that kind of those. We call it calculator. So you go for the calculator. So for this case, we want to insert the COQ here. So we try with the frequency, okay, multiple by the weight. So we have the others function available. So in here, so we click OK. So now we are COQ here. Okay. Okay, so we are circle here. So we try with the next one. Okay, we go for the start. Once you already have your create the new variables here. So you want to look on that. So go back to the quality tools, go back to Pareto chart. So now in the frequency, instead frequency, you have a COQ here. So you just put on the COQ and then you click OK. Now you have this of okay. So this one is based on the COQ. Okay, based here is a frequency. So based on this 80-20 rows, you can see that connection. And then we are the best, the important one, and then the hardware. So but for this case, your hardware it will be the 5 So in order this one, maybe it will depends on you. So whether you want to use the weighted Pareto chart instead of directly for the frequency only. Okay, you have another additional information on this case to drill down which one complaint you should to tackle it to improve your process. Okay. Next, we go for the graphical analysis also. So we try divert, okay, from the Pareto chart itself. You focus on the connection maybe. Okay, so for connection, you have your own response, your own variables. So for this case, we try with the delivery services. Okay, so delivery services, of course, a customer we want to provide we want the faster after you something like you buy the online in services. So after you buy, maybe one day after that you want that product, or maybe after you click and then you can get the thing. So it will be good as a customer, but as a services also they want to provide a faster often the same delivery within a particular area. So this service maybe they want to specialize in specific type of deliver, okay, such as a delivered food, or maybe you want to develop the kind of the package you want to deliver the humor, it will different. Maybe they have a length of standard one for the kind of delivery. So for this case, they collect the data, okay, from the departure, and then they collect the route. Okay, is we consider the freeway and heavy 5, okay, so the route, and then they collect the travel time. So from the departure to the endpoint, okay, so how many long for the time in minutes, and then they will consider the others information here after 40. So what happened to this one? So they want to try with optimize the travel time. So they want to drill down what kind of the graphical analysis they need to do to in order to know about the variation, something like one from this case. Okay. So for this, we try with the box plot. Okay, so box plot is something like to assess and compare the shape of central tendency and variability of the sample distribution to look for the outliers. Maybe for this case, more to technical part, you need look to the outliers. Maybe outlier is something like a big issue in your statistical analysis, let's say for the regression, something that one, okay, it's a complicated. So you want to study more on that, okay, the outliers, or maybe you want to see the variability between two others. For this case, we want to see on the between two way, okay, it's a freeway or heavy 5. So I open that data set. So we already have this in the data set. So you can go for the delivery services. Okay, in order this one, so you can see we have the departure time, we have the route, two type of the route we use, the freeway and the heavy way, and then we have the travel time in minutes, and then this one is after. So we try with the box plot. So how to get it the plot? We have a two-way, whether you want to go for the graph builder, or maybe you can go directly to the box plot. Okay. So I try with the simple one here. Okay, we choose the box plot with one Y. Okay, just only the travel time. Okay, just consider the one Y. But if let's say you want to have the group or multiple Y, we have another, maybe it's a lay or something like one. You have another criteria, you can go for the multiple Y. So for this case, I try with the travel time first. So just only one Y, and then I click OK. So for this case, a graph variable, the loop is want to see the travel time. Okay. Okay. So maybe I go for the so to the travel time, click OK. So now we get this one. Okay. For this case, we try with the all. Okay. So you can see between without the freeway or high 5. So we have outliers here. Okay. And then maybe I go back to this one, or maybe go back to this graph, go back to the box plot. I want to have a weak group. Okay, so I choose this one Y with the group. Click OK. And then for this case, it's travel time. This one is the hour route. And then you click OK. So now you will see on this one. Okay, this one, the whole picture of this study. Okay, but here we have grouped them into the two here, freeway and heavyway. And then no, never mind, that one is a simple thing to customize it. Okay, just double click. Okay, you just double click on here. Okay, so double click, maybe you want custom, or maybe you want to see on the group. Okay, so you buy the rate and then you can apply it, click OK, and then click OK. So that one is automatically they will give it the assign the by the default. Okay, the first column, the first color default by Minitab is a blue color. Okay, the second one be the red color. So that one is you can customize it. So you can go for the file, go for the option. So you can arrange them. Okay, so for this case. Okay, so based on this, you can see that the travel time for the freeway higher. Okay, it's higher rather than travel into the heavy, sorry, for the heavy 5 is less variation rather than freeway. So maybe to get the smallest number of this travel time, maybe you need to use the highway 5. So that one is something give to the information for your study. Okay. So we have another trade down. Maybe you can go for the another graphical. Okay, so we call it the heat map. Okay, so for this heat map to assign the relationship between one or more categorical variables. Okay, so for those have more than one categorical variables. For this case, maybe we want to answer this question. So after 4:40 departure time, what type the routes rider should use? Okay, so which one is a heavy or freeway? So just now we focus on this. Okay, so we won't use the heavy 5. But after 4:44, okay, so what happened? Is it you need to use the freeway or have highway 5? Okay, highway 5. So this one is something that one. So we try with the another graphical. Okay, maybe you go for the graph, maybe you can go for the heat map, or maybe you can go by the computer. I go for the graph, I go for the computer. So for this case, we try with this computer. Okay, we want to is the travel time. You just grab and then Minitab will appear on this one, all the type of the graphical here. Okay, so maybe for this case, you want to see on the heat map. Okay, so you want to see the heat map, you can go directly to heat map. Okay, so you will see on this one. Okay, maybe you want to see on this. Okay, so maybe, or maybe you can go for this, try the column. Okay, so to easy it. So you just try on this one. Okay. So for this case, we go for the num. So maybe you can summarize on this. Okay. So you can go for this row column. Okay, so this one is for the missing, if let's say you want to see. So you just try on draw on this one. Okay. So maybe you want to by the variables here. Okay. So you want to see on the free. Okay, so you can just try and run so you can see on this one. Okay. Okay, or maybe this way it will be see. Okay, so you satisfied with this one, we just click create, so they will open it on this case. And then after you open it, you want to customize it them, so you can go for the customizing on this. Okay, this icon. So you can see on this icon, there will some smaller icon. Okay. So or maybe you can right click, you go for the graph option. So you will see on this graph option also for this. So you can see on this, the name, the number of this travel time. Maybe you can go for the something function here. Okay, you can go for the function here, something like mean, your standard deviation, and so on. So you can manipulate on this case. So from here, you can see on this. Okay. Or maybe I go back to this. Okay. I go back to this one. So maybe you want to change the others one. So also can, or maybe you can go for the graph and then go for the heat map. Okay. So on this heat map, you can try with the travel time. For this, throw maybe go for the after. This one is go for the route. Okay. And then for here, maybe you want to see on the mean or sum or medium. So for this case, you try with the sum and then click OK. So we get on this case. Okay. So based on this, travel time is the less travel time is the blue dot here. Maybe you will use the freeway. Okay. So after this one, 0 yes, 1 is a no. Okay. So you can go for this freeway, or maybe you want to the longest time, so you will this freeway also. So you can see on this variability of this side, okay, based on the color coding here. So if let's say, but from now, just only 2 color available by the default. It just only you can go for the sequence diverge on this one, high on low only, okay. So maybe the next version we will improve on this, okay. So the next, we try with the this one, already put here. So we go for the statistical analysis. Okay, so this one is something like you use the graphical summary. Beside the graphical, you provide the information, numerical, let's say this statistic, the mean, the mode, and so on. So we able to see on this one. So how to get it this one? So I go back to the summary. I go to this one. We use the same case study here, the delivery service. Okay, but how to get it the summary? So you go for the stat, go for the basic statistic, go for the graphical summary. Okay, go for the graphical summary. For this case, we want to see the travel time, and then you click OK. So you will get the inside the visualization. We provide also the numerical analysis or descriptive statistic. So it will be in advanced one because we have to look on the normality side. We have a skewness, kurtosis. We also have a confidence interval for this mean. Okay, the width can variety. You can maybe by the root. Okay, click OK, and then you will get on this case. So for those are no need to go back to the normality test or something like one. So you can provide on this summary report for this case. Okay. Beside this, you will get on this one. Okay. Okay. The next we go for the something like statistical analysis. Okay, so we already have something like you already know about the graphical, numerical. So now we drill down our issue, our problem with the statistical analysis. For this case, I try with the attribute agreement analysis. For those are coming from the manufacturing, maybe they look on the gauge RNR. So, but for this case, I try with the attribute agreement analysis since we face it with something like attribute data set. So we look the same objective as a gauge RNR. Okay, we look or verify our measurement, is it okay or not. So for this case, is it our people? Okay, so attribute agreement is to understanding of how different process assessment, okay, it's particular and how consistently the same person assess the same item into the or compare to the right assessment. So which is we want to have a want to study about the differences between the assessment. For this case, we try with this simple with this example, for the loan officer from the major financial institution process many application each day. Okay, so a team of 4 reviewer, okay, should inspect each the check the application and categorize them is to approve and then reject. Okay, the loan officer begin notice the inconsistency in approval the application. So the bank decide to conduct an attribute agreement analysis onto this application review. So for this case, they provide the run order, they provide the appraiser here. So they will have the 4 appraiser or 4 reviewer of the loan, and then they will have a loan staff, and then they provide the result. Result can be a to accept or reject, and then of course they will have a compare with the standard here. Okay, so if let's say you have this kind of the data set or this kind of the issue, so you can use the attribute agreement analysis. Okay, so actually attribute agreement analysis is available in 2 ways. Whether you can get from the start, go for the quality tools again, and then you will see the attribute agreement analysis. Or for today, I want to use the assistant. Okay, assistant is something like will help you more on this. If let's say you are the beginner or maybe the expert, to review back what is mean by that one. So for this case, we try with the measurement system analysis. Attribute agreement analysis under measurement system analysis. So we here say what is the data type. Now our data type is appraiser. So we look on the pass or fail, or maybe we accept or reject for that. And then we can set up the worksheet, and then we can analyze the attribute agreement analysis. So why I choose this assistant, to go back to this one. Okay, maybe assistant agreement analysis use the assistant menu. They will have some information or requirement. Okay, we must be a binary response only for the assistant. Okay, if let's say you want to use the assistant, and then they not provide the assessment between the appraiser agreement, and then maybe for this case they not provide the p-value, which is you using the step in the step menu, they provide the ANOVA, something that one. But for assistant, it more easily to we call it to interpret the result. Okay, it's not so complicated one. Okay, so that's why we try with the assistant. And then for information, assistant can be powerful but have some limitation on that. For this case, the for assistant, go back to the mission. So we go for the attribute agreement. Attribute agreement analysis can be multi or multinomial, but for this case, we try with these 2 approaching binary only, accept, reject, accept, reject. Okay, so for this case, we try with the appraiser. Sorry, I need to open the data set. Sorry. For this case, we try with this data set. Okay, so we have the random order appraiser is our maybe the executive, that one. Okay, and then we have the result. We have the loan itself, and then they provide the standard for that loan itself. Okay, so we go for the assistant measurement analysis. We provide the attribute agreement analysis. So for this case, is our appraiser, our trier is trier, test item, appraiser result is our result. And then since we have a known standard, so you just put the known standard. Okay, so we just put the known standard here. Okay, so maybe you want to see on the accept, and then you click OK. So you will get on this case. Okay, so you will get the summary report, you will get the accuracy report, they will get the misclassification report, and then they provide the report card. Or we do go to a system measurement system analysis, we see the attribute agreement analysis, and then you need to complete all this information, and then you will provide this information. So based on this summary report, you can see the overall rate here is a 50.8%. Okay, so for the reject is at 30%, and then they will provide you the percentage of accuracy by the appraiser itself. Okay, so you can see on this one, maybe this one is overall, compare with the individual here. So Jim, it will be the highest, okay, accuracy, but compared to others, Javier, Jill, and Julia. And then maybe you can see drill down on this case, okay, by the appraiser itself, by the standard itself, and then by the trial itself. Maybe you can see by the appraiser versus the standard itself, okay. And then this one is a misclassification report, okay. So based on this percentage rate by the rejected is application 9 is most difficult, okay. And then here maybe the percentage accept rate by the reject is a most from Julia. So maybe Julia can go for training side and so on. So they provide you this information for the attribute agreement analysis. So if let's say you have more than 2, okay, here is a reject and accept, okay, accept, reject. But if let's say you have more than 2, okay, result, maybe you can low, medium, high, something like 1. So you need to go back to the stat, go back to the quality tools, so back to the attribute agreement analysis, and then you need to use this in the stat menu compared to the attribute agreement analysis in the assistant menu, okay. So another way, maybe you face it with something like, you want to see on the uh, stability of your process, okay, not only in manufacturing, in the services also we want to see. I think before this we have some case study from the healthcare, okay. They want to see on the process itself, on the registration, and then at the emergency department. So they provide the one. So we try with use the control chart. So basically in the control chart we want to see the common cost and the special cost. Just now in variability, in the plot, you can see have variability or not variability. So you see, you know now, variation can be 2. It's a common cost or special cost variation. So to identify which one is it, common or special cost, you need go by use the control chart. So control chart actually it was simple. The one is a plot your process in must be time order sequence. Okay, you cannot be something like, okay, this one is Sunday, the one is Wednesday, the next one is Friday. Can't. It must be in order. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on. So must be in order. Okay, and then for this case, you have the upper control limit, you have a center line, and then you have the lower limit on this case. But Minitab trigger by the color code here. If let's say Minitab just only show the blue dot here, means that your process only have a common cost variation. Okay, but for this one, the red color here, maybe you face it with the special cost variation. Okay, so after you know from the special cost variation, maybe you can drill down with the others tools like say Wishbone diagram, FMEA, and so on. Okay, so you will see on this one. But we have a type of the control chart itself, whether it's continuous or attribute. Okay, so it will seem. So we have the subgroup size, we have the attribute. Okay, so maybe you focus on the accept, reject, so you can go for the attribute. But if let's say you measure on the measurement, okay, sometimes cycle time, process time, and so on. So you will see on this continuous variables. Okay, so for this case, we try with this simple case study here. We try with the passing through the airport security is a key concern of the most airline travelers. Okay, so therefore manager of the transport security at a major airport monitor the time to screen the passenger to ensure the process is stable and timely. So every passenger, every time they take it 6 passenger here. Okay, so they take it the time. Okay, time to screen passenger on here. How long for every passenger come? They collect every time. Okay, for example, 7 a.m. Okay, they collect 6. Another 7, another after 1 hour, 8 a.m. they collect another 6, and so on. So every time they collect 6. So so you can back to this one. So maybe less than 9, you can go for the S bar chart. is a more than 9, you can go for the S bar. Okay, so but for S R here is a range, S bar is a mean. Okay, so for this case, S is a standard deviation, that one is the mean also. So that one is how we decide the which control chart will be the good. Okay, so I go to that data set, easy to see on this. Okay, so for example here, so every time, okay, every 1 hour they take it 5. Okay, so in minutes, okay, in minutes, and then another 1 hour they take it 5. All this one, what up to the how many long? Okay, so you can see on this one. So how to get it? This one, how to get the control chart? So you go for the stat, go for the quality tools. Go for the control chart. You go for the subgroup. So for this case, it's less than 9. Okay, 6. So we go for the S bar R chart. So for this case, it's a 5. Maybe here you can put the 6 and then you click OK. Now you will see the control chart on this case. Okay, so we do go to stat, go to control chart. We have subgroup, go for the R. Okay, so you choose the time here, then you click OK. So we see on the control chart, all this information are calculated by the Minitab. Okay, so no worries if let's say that one. So you just go right click. Okay, right click on this. Okay, right click. Sorry, right click on this. You go for the help to see the formula Minitab used to calculate on this. Okay, so based on this, try with this one. Just go for the hub. Okay, and then we see the formula. I think a lot of our customer always ask how Minitab to what's formula Minitab calculate. Is the same as they use? So Minitab will choose this one, and then you go for the formula method and the formula here. So go for the S bar chart, for example. So they provide you this information, how to get it, this one. So they provide on this. You just go to this, right click, tab. So they provide to into this button into this information. So just now I mentioned that Minitab will provide you the color code here. So the red color here, it will be out of control. This one is the blue color here, it will be the in control. So inside this one, this out of control, since they have the special cost variation. This one, they know they have a common cost variation only. So maybe from the special cost variation, you can improve it on this. Okay, so based on this, both X bar and R chart, okay, have a point outside from this limit. Okay, so we consider this process is not stable state. Okay, so maybe you need to improve on this case. Okay, so next issue may be related with this one. Okay, so we can use the simple regression. Okay, just now we go for the complaint, we go for the variability, we go for the assessment of the consistency for the assessment, we go for the stability. Now we want to see on the relationship between them. Okay, for example, I go back to the Pareto chart just now. We have the weighted, we have the frequency. So you want to see on the relationship between them. Okay, so we can use the simple regression. Okay, simple regression here is allowed to model the relationship between the response and the various predictor. Okay, but for today's simple, I just use the one X. Okay, one response. Okay, so for this case, can be a linear, okay, straight line. Okay, I think it will be back to our secondary school. It's a linear, it's straight line, and then here is a quadratic, okay, and then here is a cubic. So this equation can be in term of regression model. Can be straight line, can be quadratic, can be cubic. Okay, so why we need the regression? Since regression will help you, okay, is to predict. Okay, you want to do the prediction, and then you want to see the most impactful factor into your response. So the most important thing here, we do the regression, we do the modeling, want to see the prediction. So that one is available in Minitab. So we have a lot type of regression. Okay. So for those who want to see on more on this, I think last 4 months I will cover on this regression. Okay. So we have the simple, multiple, nonlinear. Okay. We have the partially squared. We have the binary. Okay. So all these things, it will depends on your response. Okay. Response you, is it numeric or attribute? Okay. Measurement or discrete? Okay, so it will depends on this one. Simple means that only one X. Okay, multiple more than one. So you will use the multiple regression. So non-linear, you need have something like just now quadratic. Yeah, that one is can be non-linear regressions. Okay, so since regression is the statistical analysis, so they provide the normal distribution. Okay, assumption. We have the constant variation. You need to look on the random over time. Okay, so you need to check all this information, this assumption before you go for the prediction. Okay, before you go to prediction. Okay, so you need to fulfill this assumption first. Okay, before you go for the prediction. Okay, so go back to this case study. I think go for the case study. Easy for us to see it. Okay, so I use another problem here. Okay, another case study here. So in hospital, so they have the cost, it will be their response. Okay, and then there will be a predictor or X factor. It will be the length of stay. So seems back to the analogy. Uh, the longest time you stay, maybe they will highest the cost on this case. But maybe we have an others attribute impact into the cost also. Okay, but for this case, I try with the simple one. Simple case study is cover the line and then the cost. Okay, so how to get it this one? So maybe I go to the okay. So I'll go to the stat. Of course, we start with the stat regression. So you can see regression. Okay. So for this case, maybe you can go for the fitted line since only one, or maybe you can go for the normal fit regression normal. Okay. So for this case, I try with the fitted line only. So our response here is the cost. Okay. Our y here is the x. It will be the length of stay here. So I will try with this simple one. And then maybe I go for the graph 4-in-1, click OK, and then I click OK. Okay, so Minitab we provide on this fitted line. So they provide you your R squared here. Okay, so R squared here almost 6%. Okay, so it will be good, not so good, it will be good. So they find with a straight line, and then they provide you the line here to do the prediction. Okay, so maybe you want to see the prediction here. So satisfied with this one. Okay, you accept on this R squared the relationship between the response and then the predictor. So you will see on the assumption here. So that one is a normal distribute, and then here is the constant between mean and variance here, and then this one is the random order. So you can accept on this regression line. Okay, or maybe you can see on this regression. So after this, maybe okay, if you want to give you the patient information about the cost. Okay, if let's say they stay for 5 days, so you just put 5 here, and then you will get the cost in here. Okay, so that one is how we use the regression. So for this case, we try to go for the stat regression. You go for the fitted or fitted regression plot, or maybe you can go for the fit regression models. So the same, go for the response. Our response is cost. Our continuous predictor is your days. Okay, for this case, we try with this only one. Okay, so for the graph 4-in-1, click OK, and then click OK. So you will get this. Information is the same just now for this. Okay, information it will be the same, just only different way And then we go back to the stat, go back the regression, go back the regression. You see, we have the predict here. It's a predict button. Okay, so you just click predict. Okay, so for this case, which one to predict for the 6th day? If let's say you want to see, you stay 6 day, how many costs you need to. So you click okay. So now, based on this setting 6, so you will see on the feed here. So we cost about the 1500, almost 15K for this one. Okay, so for this one is how they will use the regression or sign in this one. Okay, so I think that one is enough for today. That one is just give you the idea how to handle with the non-manufacturing, or how idea to do the quality improvement. Okay, basically it will be the same method, same objective, but different tools. Okay, different tools also. So if let's say you have a question, so let me know. You can type into the chat